Formula One was looking at a very bleak season for 1952. Alfa Romeo had withdrawn from Grand Prix racing, and the spoils were left to Ferrari and the hopeless BRM teams, supported by various relics from years gone by. The only cars Ferrari had to compete against had names long since lost to obscurity, like Connaught Lee Francis, Fraser Nash BMW, Simca Gordini, and Aston Butterworth. Wheezy, old, hopelessly slow cars. As a result, the only competitive open-wheel racing that year was being done down in Formula 2, so organisers decided to make Formula 2 the specification for 1952's Formula 1 season. Ferrari were the only team to have a car specifically designed for the new formula. They were well positioned to take advantage of the new rules. Aurelio Lampredi, Ferrari's chief designer, built an uncomplicated but superbly prepared car, the Tipo 500. The Ferrari Tipo 500 Grand Prix car was the absolute class of the field in 1952. In fact, it was the only new car on the grid that year. The car was simple by today's standards. It had a double wishbone front suspension and a De Dion rear. Big drum brakes, which Enzo Ferrari still liked better than those fancy store-bought discs, stopped it, eventually. But since the whole thing weighed just 560 kilograms dry, the drums would do. It was powered by an inline 2-litre 4-cylinder engine which was mounted behind the front axle, improving weight distribution. It featured 2 elegant banks of overhead valves, 2 spark plugs per cylinder, and 4 big honking intake trumpets that funneled air into 4 Weber carburetors on the right-hand side, matched by short, straight, swept-back exhausts blasting out the left-hand side of the block and through the bodywork. It had a maximum power output of 185 brake horsepower at 7,500 RPM. The combination of proven design, the weight savings of a smaller engine, and of course the skill of Alberto Ascari proved unbeatable. The car debuted at the final race of the 1951 season at the Madonna GP, where Ascari absolutely annihilated the rest of the field by a 1-lap margin, soundly beating the heavier V12-powered Tipo 166 driven by his teammate. The 1952 season was inaugurated at Syracuse in Sicily. The Tipo 500 had new bodywork and 4 Weber carburetors. Ascari led a Ferrari 1-2-3 finish. Ascari won 6 of the 8 races in 1952, a year when the Indy 500 was part of the series, followed by 4 of the 9 events on the 1953 calendar, claiming the World Championships in both 1952 and 1953. Ascari won 7 consecutive World Championship races in the 500, a record which stood until Sebastian Vettel broke it in 2013. With the new rules for the 1954 season, Formula One was once again the premier series. The Tipo 500 was upgraded to 2.5 litres capacity and redesignated the Tipo 625. But soon they would be overshadowed by the Maserati 250F and the Mercedes W196 and Lancia D50, leaving the poor old Tipo 500 in the past. So let's get this lovely little car out for a race. And I can think of no better venue than the spiritual home of Ferrari, Monza. I'll be starting from the back as usual and trying to fight my way as far forward as possible in 6 laps. So here we go, folks, and yet again another kind of funky start from Assetto Corsa. I don't know if you've noticed this, guys, but sometimes when you use some mod cars, the behaviour at the start is a little strange. Some of the cars just don't quite get away properly, so what I was doing there was hanging back until they actually all got moving. So, me starting from the back, and these are the first 2 guys that I am overtaking. I'll keep you up to date on my race position as we cross the start-finish line on each lap. So as you can see, we're obviously on lap 1 just now. So 6 laps at Kunos's own version of Monza 1966. It's the road course, so that's the one without the banking. I'm actually saving the one with the banking for a future video. I actually did this race in VR, and I thought it'd be quite fun to use some of the VR camera angles from the replay. So I watched the replay whilst wearing my VR headset, which meant that I could kind of tilt my head outside the car and look at things as we go past them. And I've interspersed these VR shots with just some standard pretty angles from Assetto Corsa's own replay feature. So I hope you enjoy the little montage that I have put together for you here. Sometimes when we're driving in VR and straight into the sun, getting a slight yellow tinge on the screen. I'm not sure if that was because of the PP filter I was using, or whether VR is trying to replicate my view through some dirty goggles. But anyway, clear blue skies. Here we are then, coming up to the end of lap 1. Beautiful side view of this guy. Look at him working away at the wheel there. And we're on to lap 2. We have started lap 2 in 17th position, so we've come up from 26th to 17th. Let's just talk about where I got this car from. Like some of the content I've featured previously, it has come from Historic Sim Studios, an absolutely fantastic modding group. It's the 1952 Ferrari 500, and it says on their Discord it's by Revival Racing League with assistance from HSS. So it sounds like a bit of a collaboration between an online league and Historic Sim Studios gave them a bit of a hand as well. I cannot recommend Historic Sim Studios highly enough. As I've said in previous videos, they are a paid for mod thing, so I pay a few pounds a month or a few dollars. It is the best investment you can make. All of their content is absolutely fantastic, tracks and cars, and I'll be featuring a lot more on my channel in the future. So just managing to squeeze past this guy in the blue and white, but he's coming back at us now. There's that yellow tinge I was talking about. Look at the detail in these cars. Down into Parabolica for the end of lap 2. And as you can see, I'm also using a period driver for the driver model in these cars. There's a nice view of the back of the helmet. So as we cross the line to start lap 3, we are now in 13th position. I really enjoy doing these videos of the old cars. It is my first love as far as sim racing goes, especially period cars from the 50s and 60s, as well as their tracks, of course. Part of the process for me is picking a car, and then it allows me to go and do a bit of research into that car, and it's like a deep dive, scouring around internet articles from Motorsport magazine. I really lose myself in it. It's great fun. This is a lovely view showing the texture of the driving gloves in the driver model and all the clocks in the car. So we're on a group of about 4 cars to try and overtake, one just kicking up the dust there in front of us. To the big long straight down towards the Parabolica, and we'll get this guy on the inside and see if we can't outbrake this guy into the Parabolica. Got one, and I think we got 2 there. Rear facing view showing the guys behind us that we've just overtaken coming onto the start finish straight. So as we approach onto lap 4, we've got another couple of guys ahead of us here. We've got a nice side view of this blue and white model. It's obviously an entire field of Ferrari 500s, but when you download the mod from Historic Sim Studios, you get a whole lot of liveries that you can apply. So as we came onto lap 4, we were in 9th place, and just passing that blue and white guy, we are now in 8th place. Look at that lovely detail in that exhaust shot there. You'll see flames coming out the back of the exhaust at intermittent points. Look at the detail on the brakes as well. So this guy in the maroon is giving me quite a hard time to get past him. Finally managed it there. Down into Lesmo 2 now. And we are chasing down the leading pack. They are not very far away at all. Down underneath the bridge. Quite a nice rear-facing view. That shows you all the detail at the back of the car as well. The filler cap for the fuel tank in the middle. Heavy braking again for the Parabolica. Taking that guy on the inside. Detail in the old signs round about the Monza track. And here we're going to get another one just before the start finish. So as we start lap 5, we are oddly enough in 5th place. And that is 4th, right ahead of us. We've got a good slipstream on him. There we go. That is us up into 4th. So pedal to the metal time, try and catch up with the top three. We can see third just ahead of us. Obviously, if you're enjoying this video, folks, I would really appreciate it if you gave a thumbs up to the video, and you maybe subscribe to the channel if you are not already, and you can follow some more historic racing videos in the future, as well as other driving sims. So this blue guy up ahead, he is third, and we are rapidly gaining on him. Here he is, coming into our clutches, foot by foot. We're not going to get him before the corner though, it'll have to all be done on the straight and on the braking down into Parabolica. Quite good on the braking into this corner, so let's hope we can get this guy as well. Oh, just nearly on the inside maybe. Well, we're touching wheels, but we've just managed to squeeze past him. So that is us in third now. So we are assured a place on the podium, but let's see if we can't improve on that in the last lap. So we're third, and we can see second place and first place right ahead of us. So that's us into the last lap, lap 6. And we are rapidly gaining on this guy as well. I've got a good toe in the slipstream. But he's quick though. Look at that view. Look at the suspension work. Somebody has spent an awful lot of time on this mod. So we're chasing second down into the first of the Lesmo corners. Let's see if we can't outbrake him on the inside. Oh, just getting round, just getting round. Oh, he's coming back at us. Oh, he's giving us a good fight. Round the second Lesmo. We've got a good run on him here though. Down underneath the bridge. That's us up into second. Can we possibly catch this guy down into the Parabolica and just claim the top step? Heavy braking once again. Oh, I'm fighting the car. Right on the back end of him. Do we have the horsepower? It's a drag to the line. I didn't think it was going to be as close as this. And we have just pipped him for first place. Fantastic stuff. Phew, that was some race. Thank you for coming along and watching it with me. I hope you enjoyed the video. Here I am sitting in the car. Look at that lovely detail on that exhaust and these clocks there. Oh, this car is just so beautiful. Anyway, please like and subscribe if you have not already, and I will see you for another video soon. Cheers for now.